Merry Meet. And I haven't recorded a video for a few days because I've had this going on and I'm finally just done with it. So it's gonna be there for a while. Just embrace the fact that this is gonna be a thing for a minute because cold sores just take their own sweet time. No matter how many medications and ointments and stuff you do, they just run their course, no matter what. So just embrace it. So today we are talking about a book that I finished over the weekend. It is Eclectic Wicca by Mandi, and she's here on YouTube. If I remember, I'll put her channel linked below, and as well as the book. It might take a minute, so if you're watching this like the second it's uploaded, give me like a day or two. But anyways, so for this book, I listened to it on Audible. I'm not sponsored. I just had a credit this month, and I've been meaning to read this book since she published it in like 2018. So I finally did it. Finally did the thing. So overall, this book is really fantastic if you are a beginner. As always, if you're more advanced, you're not going to get a lot from this book. It's really the same information reiterated again and again and again. But if you're a beginner, I do like this book. It's a lot smaller and kind of a quick read. And the way she writes is very interesting. I like the imagery, and just her use of words is very pretty. Like, listening to it was fantastic. It just creates a beautiful world in your mind. It's wonderful. I love her writing style. So for that, I would recommend it. And for beginners, it is always nice to get more perspectives on things. She has a few different viewpoints than like Silver Ravenwolf, so the last book we talked about. Like for Silver Ravenwolf, she talks about how you should do spells on people even if they tell you not to, because you're a witch and you know better, and you are a witch and therefore you are in service to others always. Whereas Mandi is the opposite. She's like, yeah, no, let's not do spells on anyone ever. And I think she said if you do a spell on another, it won't work or something like that, which is like, you can. I just don't think you should. But overall, this book is pretty great. It goes through the Wheel of the Year. I think it goes through the moon phases, general things, you know, your tools, the goddess, the god, all that jazz. So really just kind of, again, the basic information. There was nothing that really made it stand out from any of the other books, really. She does talk more as if you're sitting down having a conversation versus like lecturing to you, which I thought was really nice. And just overall, it was a really fantastic read. Again, as a more advanced person, you've heard the information 1,000 times over, so it might not have as much for you unless you're wanting to kind of refresh on the basics, which, I mean, to be fair, we all should at some point, just kind of, you know, brush up on the beginner stuffs. And so it'd be a good book for that. I can't remember if there was a lot of spells in it. I feel like there wasn't, and if there was only like a handful. I think it was mostly just telling you about the stuff, which is okay. It doesn't always have to include spells. But yeah, overall, this book was pretty good. If you're a beginner, definitely would recommend picking it up. I wouldn't say I'd have it be your first book. I'd say like maybe your third or fourth read, because she doesn't go into a lot of the details that some of the other ones do, like the history of witchcraft. She does a bit, but not extensively, because it's already been covered. So I would say if you're reading books in order, I would do like Scott Cunningham's Wicca, A Guide for the Solitary Practitioner. Almost forgot the title, good lord. Do that one. Maybe do like Inner Temple of Witchcraft or something, and then Eclectic Wicca, just to like kind of get the very big picture of things, and then she kind of breaks it down a little bit easier. But I mean, I suppose as a beginner you could read through it. I don't know if you would want all of the details. If you're wanting, maybe if you just want to give this book a, like, this is kind of what I believe, here you go, to someone, it would be a really great one. Super short read, doesn't take too long, but enough that it gets the information across so people would easily be able to understand it. And again, her writing style is really fantastic. It's one of like the main things that I loved about it, is even though it was the same repetitive information, it was at least the way she worded it was very interesting for me. And listening to it on audiobook, it was fantastic. So if you have the option to listen to it on Audible, I recommend it. The person who read it was fantastic. Some of the words were pronounced differently than I would have pronounced them, but everyone pronounces things differently. Like, Samhain was like so in. Like, at least that's how it sounded like from when I was listening to it, which kind of threw me for a loop a little bit, but everyone pronounces it differently. It's an old word and we all add our own accents onto it, so not like the biggest of deals, but just keep that in mind if you're listening to it. Some of the words are just gonna be a little different, but it's also spoken in an English accent, so if you are immature like I am, it keeps you entertained. Like, I'm just basically a toddler at heart, and, you know, just listening to an English accent was pretty fantastic. So, anywho, overall, I definitely recommend this book. It was really fantastic. I also recommend you check out her channel. She posts pretty regularly. I don't know if it's daily. Sometimes she posts 2 or 3 times in a day, and then I think she has a few days off, and then she'll post a bit. But she has a lot of content out there. She has Patreon. I think she has 2, maybe 3 tiers now. But she always posts really fantastic stuff there. So, and then I think she also has an Etsy shop, if I remember right. So, anyways, she has a lot of stuff going on. Definitely recommend you check her out. And yeah. Until my next video, thank you for watching, and blessed be.